Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Please comment, rate, subscribe, folks. Comment, subscribe, like the videos. Also, share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen, folks, there's a link tree down below. Has the links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there. Follow me across all my social media platforms and talk to me because I talk back. Also down there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, and turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Now, with that said and done and put to the side, I've come to talk to you folks today about Woody Johnson. Boy, oh boy. Woody Johnson sat down with the media and he had quite a bit to say. He blasted Zach Wilson. He spoke about Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas. Their jobs could possibly be on the line down the future if they don't correct things and get it together. Boy, oh boy, did Woody Johnson have some things to say, and we are going to have the discussion. All right. Now, Woody sat down with the media before the NFL honors. We know all of that stuff's going on. I think it's going on in Vegas. And he let off some bombs, man. I'm not going to lie to you. Started off, kind of talking about some things, and then he started to talk about, the offense or the pieces on the team that needed to be added to really better the football team. And when talking about the pieces that needed to be added, a reporter said something, and he said, yeah, we need a backup because we didn't have one last year. I mean, wow. Wow, right? As we all know, the Jets did have Tim Boyle on the team. They tried to bring him in, but he was garbage all throughout preseason. Zach Wilson beat him out and was the actual backup. Once Aaron Rodgers went down, and Woody was asked about Aaron Rodgers going down, how that felt, he said it felt like, basically getting your arm cut off. About 4 plays into the season, Aaron Rodgers is done, and we see Zach Wilson go out there. Zach Wilson struggled. There was a lot of things around him as well that were struggling, particularly the offensive line. Our offensive coordinator was trash. Alan Lazard was awful. The offense just kind of fell off a cliff. They tried to go to Tim Boyle. He was even worse. Trevor Siemian was bad too. Everything was bad, okay? But here's the deal. This is not the first time that he's kind of taken a dig publicly at Zach Wilson, and I don't know if he's doing this purposely. But this is like the second time. Before we got Aaron Rodgers, this past offseason, right? The media was talking to him, and they asked him, what do you think is the piece that the Jets need to really ascend and take the next step in this league? And he looked them directly in the face. This is with Zach Wilson on the roster. This is before Aaron Rodgers. This was before, a lot of people were talking about different things the Jets can do. He looked directly into the camera and said, quarterback is the missing piece. I mean, that doesn't show a lot of confidence in a guy that you have. Now, again, Zach Wilson has struggled, and I get it. But here's the problem with what he's doing when he says things like that publicly, okay? It shows a lack of solidarity within the building when you're publicly coming out and saying things like that. We know that the Jets need a veteran backup quarterback. We've all talked about it. They even have come out and talked about getting a veteran backup quarterback being a priority. Okay, cool. But here's the deal, bruh. You don't have to go out and blast this as an owner. We know it's happening, okay? We know it's going to happen. Also, when you do that, right? When you blast it in this manner, okay? What it does is it makes the price on veteran backup quarterbacks go up because they know we need them like no tomorrow. We need a Ryan Tannehill. We need a Jacoby Brissett. We need a Gardner Minshew. Whoever, put the name of the backup quarterback you would like. We need that. They look at the Jets and they go, okay, generally I'd probably charge a team maybe $9 million, $8 million, something like that. But y'all need me like crazy. I'm going to try to make you pay out the wazoo. How about $12 million for you? That's something that happens, okay? And so I just don't like how Woody approached this, especially, okay? If you're talking about trading Zach Wilson, and there's been rumors swirling that that's what they're going to try to do, okay? This completely diminishes his value. If you're a team that is even was even thinking about trading a pick for Zach Wilson, whatever it was, a sixth, seventh round or whatever, at this point you're like, I'm just gonna wait you out because you yourself have basically come out and say you don't value him at all. He can't even be a backup to you. So why would I try to trade him? I trade for him. I don't like Woody Johnson doing this. Don't like when he does this. And he's done it twice. He also spoke about Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas and their jobs. I wanna read these quotes directly from Woody Johnson and what he said to the media. He said, the discussions I've had in the last couple months, they've seen me about as mad as I can be with what's going on with the offense particularly. Of course, Jets offense struggled. We all know that, right? We've got all this talent and we've got to deploy that talent properly. I think they got the message. This is it. This is the time to go. We must produce this year. We must produce this year, okay? He also went on to say he's not a playoff mandate guy, but we have to do a lot better than 7 games. Here's the deal. This is something I talked about. Listen, Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas are going into this offseason and they know what's on the line. If the New York Jets next year do not make the playoffs or come a game or maybe 2 games, out of making the playoffs, they're going to get fired. They're going to get fired. And it's not because we've seen Woody Johnson say things like this, especially about front offices in the past, and not really do anything, right? Find some way to clean it up. We saw it with Adam Gase, right? He was terrible. And then they found some way to clean it up to bring him back the next season. But if they fail to make the playoffs or come extremely close and right outside, right, and miss the playoffs, the fan base and the media is not going to allow Woody to live this down. And that push will absolutely get Robert Saleh fired if Woody doesn't want to make the move himself. We've seen him cave to media and fan pressure before, okay? And I'm not saying that they wouldn't deserve to get fired. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if he was even thinking about, not doing anything if they win 7 games or 6 games, I can just try. It's not happening. The fan base will go nuts, all right? Here's the deal. Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas are going into this offseason, and I think that they're going to try to do everything that they possibly can to fix all of the issues, shore up all of the holes on this team going into the season so they can get something done, okay? Now, I don't know if the New York Jets have enough cap to shore up all the issues along the offensive line. I personally don't think they do. When you look at the big hole at left tackle, when you look at everyone wants Laken Tomlinson gone, that's a gigantic hole at left guard. Tittman and ATV, solid, but you got to worry about ATV. He hasn't been healthy in 2 years, so you have to look at him as well. That's 3 offensive linemen there, and then there's a gigantic hole at right tackle. That's 4 offensive line spots. The Jets don't have enough money to sign, really high, competent backup right guard and basically 3 starters. They don't have enough money to do that in free agency. Especially when you look at the market, a lot of the top free agent tackles that we think are going to be out there, some of them are probably going back to their teams. They're going to sign deals. I remember when Zach Martin at one point was supposed to hit the free agency market and everybody was clamoring. And the Dallas Cowboys said, whoa, that's not happening. And they got the deal done and he's still over there. Okay? So I think the New York Jets are going to try to shore some things up as much as they can, but the draft is going to be pivotal for the New York Jets. It is going to be pivotal. They're going to have to make sure that they shore up a lot of the offensive line issues in the draft. So for me, tackle in the first is immediate, but I also think, right, that with all of this pressure upon Joe Douglas, he's going to do some things in this upcoming draft that I don't think he would have done in the past. I think that he's going to pull capital from future drafts to move back in to the second round or somehow try to gain another first round pick from a lot of the capital in future drafts to get more offensive linemen in this building. Because we only have a first, and then after that, we have no second. It slides to the third. And I don't think they want to play that game because you have to get as close to the surest bet if you are trying to make a playoff run. And there's a lot of Jets fans. I'm going to keep it real with you. As y'all know, comment down below. There's a lot of Jets fans that are talking about Super Bowl or bust year because Aaron Rodgers is going to be back fully healthy. baby, the pressure is going to be on. And let me tell you something. When Joe Douglas knows his keister is on the line, I think just like a lot of other general managers that we've seen here with the New York Jets, he's going to do what it takes to save his keister. Okay. He also talked about the field. We all know the turf needs to go, but he said, Woody Johnson said that him and the Giants owners, they haven't found a way, a workable solution to put natural grass down and have it kind of be able to be utilized on a weekly basis. So they're still trying to figure that out. Now, how much of that is honesty, I don't know. But everybody wants the turf gone, including the Jets players and everybody else that comes to MetLife to play here. The turf is horrific. Okay, but we'll see what happens with that. So comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. How do you folks feel about what he had to say about Zach Wilson? Are you concerned about this affecting the New York Jets search for a veteran backup quarterback? Are you worried about this? If you want to see Zach Wilson traded, do you think that that will affect his trade value? What are your thoughts about the heat that is being applied to Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas? What are your thoughts about that, man? He seems like he's ready to let them up out of here if they don't go get something done this upcoming season. Comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. You folks have a good one. Peace.